Alright, so we now know how much Black Clover Mobile made on JP at least in August. So we're gonna just talk a bit about the banners that released. And then we're gonna talk about how much they made, which just gets worse and worse, I guess. So in August, I guess we got some of the season 3 money trickling in, but season 3, because obviously it was on the 30th. Is there 31 days in July? Hold on, let me see. July has 31 days. So like there was about like a day or so that would be counted towards July, but then like maybe some people decided to spend for Vanessa afterwards. So a bit of money trickled in from the season 3 banner. And then of course, we got Julius, right? Julius was an insane banner. People were hyped. People were very hyped. People wanted to max dupe him. I see a bunch of max dupe Juliuses, but of course people could have saved. But you gotta consider that they probably did spend at least a bit, especially because his skill page was very good. Then afterwards, the only other banner that came out, or I guess we could count the season 4 banner, but we had this like exclusive type of banner that let us choose any unfeatured unit up till the Lich and Fauna banner. And then the season 4 banners had a bit of money trickling in, but it wasn't like I don't think many people summoned. Like I don't think so, but you know maybe JP has a different meta. I'm not too sure about that, but it's not like anyone went ham on these guys. So yeah, that was basically all we had. A bit from season 3, mainly from Julius, and then season 4 banner. And then maybe some people were weird enough to summon on the selection banner, but I did two multis because I wanted to try to get my last dupe of Mars, but I got him on the season 4 banner either way. So that's huge. Now, as for how much they made, Black Clover JP made $1 million. I'm not really gonna compare it to like other games. I think that when Black Clover goes global, it's a possibility that it does good. But I think that comparing it to Grand Cross isn't fair because Grand Cross got that like initial boom of being like that first game to do it like in an interesting manner. Where Black Clover, it's just because of the IP, but it's very interesting that I made less than July. Now, why could that be? I mean, in July we had two banners, two pickups instead of one. We had Kohono and Kyoto, but Julius is more hype. Now, I guess the only reason that I could see is because of the season 2 banner. Noelle obviously came out, and I guess people needed some time to really realize, and then it's like, oh shit, wait, Noelle's great. Let's summon for her if we don't have the free dupes. So yeah, they made less than in July. They made 300,000 less, which not great. And obviously KR would make them a bit more, but KR does not make as much as JP anyway. So there's that. I just don't think that's crazy. Obviously, it would have been better if it was more or at least the same, especially because of Julius. But I think it goes to show that like them spamming banners at first really made a difference because we got like 8 banners at once or like 8 banners in a month, I think. Let me see if I search up from I think it was 9 banners. Was it 9? So 8. I'll just write banners. We should be able to see it. I mean, I'm guessing because there was a lot of banners that first month and I remember making a tweet about it, but it was kind of far back. Okay, this one. So we got all this in a month, but obviously counting from like May 24th. So like we got a good amount of money from that, right? But then afterwards, this was because like bro, we got the Midnight Sun, right? Which was hype, and then I guess also it trickled in a bit from the season 2 banner, right? So like overall it makes sense why they made 3.6, which is a very good number by the way. But then 1.3, obviously afterwards it kind of went to shit. If we just like look at the banners, right? Season 2 banner was definitely very hype, which is why it made so much for June and also helped July a bit because in July, except for like Noelle like kind of helping it out a bit, nothing really came out that was hype. If we just look at like tweet impressions, right? 1.5 thousand or not impressions, likes. 1.5 thousand on my tweet is wild. Like that never really happens anymore. So I think like 268, right? Then 534, and then afterwards 400, kind of. And then afterwards, I think like recently, it's not really been that crazy, right? 200. So, you know, people are getting less and less hyped. Less people are playing. So I definitely think a lot of things contribute to that. I think people are being more free to play because they're able to, right? People realize they might not want to dupe units or they might not like need to. And obviously now like season 4 units aren't anything like meta changing. They're good, but you don't need dupes in them except for Charlotte, but you don't really need Charlotte to win. You don't need max dupe Charlotte to win. So like there's a lot of things that kind of contribute to it, but it's a very sad number considering they released Julius. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but I just think it's a fatigue. Like even I'm fatigued. I'm gonna talk about that more in other videos, but it's just like not as interesting as it was. I feel like the units are boring, right? We only got one like canon unit in season 3, only Julius. Then we got 3 seasonals. They almost all sucked. Okay, Vanessa sucked. Asta was okay. Charmy was good, but Charmy was boring. Asta was just not a cool unit, and Vanessa was the only cool unit, but she sucked, right? Then season 4 comes around. They're cool units. They don't change anything, but it's also that we're not getting any new story. A bunch of things are just kind of lining up to where it's not helping. And 1 million is just not crazy, but you got to realize they released 4 units compared to 5 in June, or in July, sorry. And then in June they released like I don't know, like 8, 7, 8. So big difference, big difference. I just don't think they're going in the right direction, but I'm gonna give them time. We're gonna hopefully hope it gets better. I think it can. I definitely think it can get better with time, but as of right now, not looking the best. I don't think it helps that the people are just not as hyped anymore, I guess. I don't know what it is. I think it's a bunch of things like kind of meshed together, but nah, it's just not looking as good. I just think that marketing's also shit. Like we after like the beginning, right? We didn't even get the seasonal promotion, so we didn't get any videos for Kyoto Kohono, which doesn't help. Like these, also look at the view difference. Like 22k, 22, 17, right? 23. Then Julius, 6.6. It's wild. It's wild. Let's go back here. I just want to check the YouTube or the KR YouTube. I just think the drop to me makes sense. Obviously, like even just looking compared to like Grand Cross, for it to be that much of a difference is kind of sad. Black Clover definitely needs to step things up. I think with banner releases, it's sad that like this month we're getting the spare Veto and Gul'dari when they're not going to make Gul'dari good. Even if he's my GOAT, I know he's just not. I'm not even going to summon for him. Like there's going to be no point because it's like they've made it so that like obviously no matter who you use, you'll probably be fine. But you want to use fun units, and if the unit isn't good, it's not usually fun. Like unless they give Gul'dari a cool gimmick, it's like you don't want to get destroyed by bots, right? And then Veto's cool, but it's like they have to be as good as like Noelle or Julius now for you to really summon, which is another problem. Is that when they make seasonals worse than those two, it's like, bro, I thought the seasonals were supposed to be good, especially after Noelle. It's like, damn, they should have been good, especially when it's like they're like the limited units, and it's like, okay, well, they're not that good anymore, right? So I think that doesn't help either. But like in terms of views, right? Like there was a bigger, obviously because of like launch, I guess, but there was definitely a hype for that. And then Julius is just like, it's like, But I'm just like kind of sad by the numbers, but it's like it makes sense. Not even Global's not out, right? Canada's out, but Global's not out, so it's just a fatigue, I guess. And to me, it makes sense, right? 1 million, it's good enough, right? It's good enough. It's gonna keep them running, but it's not amazing as you would want it. But hey, whatever. I want to see if people are mentioning it. I mean, I mentioned it. I just said Julius couldn't carry, but let's see what the Goko Deli has to say. Situation starting to get tense for Black Clover. Maybe Global will save them. Funny that in the interviews they said they wanted to be Mihoyo's level of revenue, but this was more so like a joke. They were like, well, if we could get like 70 million total, that would be cool. But at this point, I don't even know if they're gonna make it to 70 million. But yeah, Black Clover is the only young game that sucks so much. Yeah, like the fact that it's a young game and it's still not making much kind of sucks, especially when Black Clover is such a big IP. Maybe it was bad timing since the manga isn't really like publicizing as much now. It could have just been bad timing, especially with the anime. But like Grand Cross is doing fine. They don't have like a really good anime or manga, right? It's just a good game, I'd say. I would say it's a good game. But Black Clover, yeah, they need a couple of things. I think once PvP comes in, there's definitely going to be a need for it. But right now it's like, okay, you're only going to summon for people that are like really good or something, or going to do something fun for you, because there's just not a point. But I feel like, yeah, just a lot of things. Let me know what you guys think. 1 million is nothing crazy. KR maybe made like 300k, 400k more. I don't think they made any more than that. That's like pushing it. Like that's 400k if they like, if the Koreans were like, they had their money up, right? But we'll have to see. I think half anniversary is going to be the most telling point, how they're going to handle that, how the views are going to be. Because like, let's see. I mean, we'll go to views, right? Let's just go to views. Hopefully I don't click on my YouTube studio, but like in terms of views, I don't think it's like horrible right now. Very sad for this, unlucky, but like views are not looking bad. Obviously, like season 2 was the best in terms of views. just for everything, right? I think Julius too was very good. People were excited for Julius, but let's see. So like just to like kind of go over hype moments. Hype moments usually mean more money or less money. Julius was definitely something that's like, oh my god, because like 3K views on a showcase, I think I've never done except for Noelle. But Noelle herself was quite wild. If we go to Noelle, like this point was dead. Like after Noelle came out, and then they're like, all right, nothing else, right? But like the build 5K views, insane for me, right? 3K on a showcase. Then I did a 60K CC showcase, 1.5, very good numbers. I swear I did well like 3K, then 2.7, right? It was very nice views, very good views. There was hype parts because like, oh my god, Charlotte skin, maybe we're gonna get like to be able to buy stuff like that. We'll have to like, you know, maybe then there was like a bunch of game modes that were leaked, and it's like, oh my god, but then nothing really came out, and the event only came out in season 3, and it kind of sucked. So yeah, but this part was pretty hype. I don't know. I think like I'm doing more views now sometimes, but it's mainly for global videos. I think obviously the English player base is starting to come out, but nah, like after we're starting Kohono Kiaro, it just wasn't that hype, and then they released another not hype banner. Like, what is it? This, like the only thing that was hype about this was Julius. That's the only reason why this got close to 1K views. But then the units themselves, Vanessa was not hype. Asta did more views than Vanessa, so you know that kind of says something. But I did a max dupe, yeah, not really crazy views. I think my Jack already did more. That was 4 weeks ago. No way, that's insane. But yeah, no. It's very good that Julius came out when he did, because there also would have been such a big drought, and I wouldn't have known what to do. And I don't know what to do for videos anymore because I'm just getting bored of it. But hopefully soon, right? I think the numbers are very telling as to how the community itself feels. So hopefully they start acting better. We'll have to see. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.